What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Gun Media hiring a community manager. They're looking for one. So, as I always say for these videos, if you apply, if this is something that's down your alley, okay, and you somehow make it in, okay, which I wish everybody the best of luck. Don't forget about me, okay? I just ask that very simple favor. Don't forget about me. Throw me a DM or an email or something or a tweet, every here and there, and we're all square, okay? I think that's an even exchange. So, no, in all honesty, though, they are hiring a community manager, and the quote is, as they continue to push multiplayer horror in new directions. Now, who's Gun Media? Who's Gun Media? Anybody? Well, they're the makers of Friday the 13th, okay? A game that I've had the biggest, I've had a lot of love-hate relationships with games. If you follow my history, and I covered this game back in the day, back 4 years ago, my dear God, there's not, I think, a bigger game or a game that's closer to me that I had such a love-hate relationship, because I loved it at first, like more than any other game like ever, and then I hated it. It's a very back and forth thing. But what is this? Why is this important? Well, before I say that, firstly, let me thank Benny over on Twitter, because he sent me the link for this, so I appreciate you doing that. And if anybody ever sees anything cool online that you want me to talk about, whether it's a game, movie, TV show, definitely make sure to send it my way. And one final ask of you guys: if you're new here, or if you have been here and you aren't subscribed, most of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. Make sure that you guys do hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And a very big thing is just hit the like button if you guys like this video. It definitely helps YouTube more than almost anything else push this video out. You can leave a dislike too if you hate me, if you don't like the video. That's totally cool too. The engagement absolutely helps, all right? So this is the makers that people have theorized, and there's a lot of good evidence behind it, that they're making a Halloween game. Now, a few months back, I actually made a video. So at the end of this one, like in those title cards, my final kind of screen in these videos, I'll leave that video where I talk about the Halloween game, because, again, there is a very good amount of evidence. I do believe it. I do think it's happening. And what's cool and like obviously I guess like worthy of talking about in a video is like the community manager. The thing is, normally studios hire community managers right as they're getting ready to go on like a tour in some sense of like, okay, we're gonna start talking online. Okay, it's a thing that you see quite often, and most times, let me say this, most times that I've specifically talked about, I guess, is we already know what the game is when they're hiring. In fact, a few weeks back, I think 2.5 weeks ago, Hogwarts Legacy, the makers of Hogwarts Legacy. Now, we know that game. We've seen that game's trailer. They've talked about it in interviews, and they've gone dark for a long time. But, we know it's real, and we've seen it and all that stuff. They're hiring a community manager. And the game probably doesn't come out for another year and a half, okay? But they're staffing up. They're getting ready to have somebody. And the job listings, the job descriptions, I should say, for all of these kind of community managers, they're generally the same, where it's like they are, if you guys don't know, which I think you probably do, but they're like, they're the voice of the developers, and they also take the voice of the players and kind of translate it or give it to the developers, okay? So they're kind of that middle person, which is very important. A game that doesn't have one in general probably doesn't exist, because a lot of games do have community managers, but a good one versus a bad one is a big deal. A very prominent example, I think, is the community manager of Star Wars Battlefront 2. He was phenomenal, and it took a while for Battlefront 2 to obviously get where it finally ended, which was actually in a really, really good state, but they did a really good job handling the community and talking to the community. So it's important, and especially, I would argue, for a multiplayer game. Multiplayer games, I would say, are maybe even more important for a community manager to be there. But again, the biggest thing is you normally don't hire one of these. And I know I'm talking about it as if it's like an alien species. A person, a human being, is going to occupy this role. But you don't hire a community manager unless you're getting ready to do something. And again, for an example of Gun Media, we don't even know what the game is. We think it's Halloween. I think it's Halloween. I think they'll eventually say that, but we don't even know that yet. We've seen nothing about it. They've said nothing about it, and they're hiring a community manager. So to me, that indicates that they're getting ready to say it. Normally, again, you'd already have it all in place, and then the community manager would just be there to do the stuff that community managers do, but it would be in that last year to maybe like 6 months before the game releases, okay? But in this case, I think it's just to get ready for, all right, the game's real, because what you have to also think is, it depends on the game and the publisher. Hogwarts Legacy, like I said, like that game was announced and it wasn't going to come out for like a year after it was announced, and now it's obviously even longer. But a game like this, Halloween, if they were to announce it, say around E3 time, let's just throw out a time, if they announce it at E3 time and they say, okay, this game comes out this fall, well, that's much shorter, so you don't have time to say, okay, at E3 we announce it, all right, now we got to find a community manager because the game launches in 3 months. That would be probably a bad idea, because you may even have like a beta for the game, some sort of way of people to play it. You're going to have those interviews, you're going to have the gameplay presentations, all that stuff. You would already need a community manager, I think, to be successful. And if you don't have one, if you're searching for one in that time, I don't think it's going to work, okay? So again, I think it just depends. I think for a situation like this, maybe it's going to be a situation where they announce it and then it releases really quickly after. And in that case, having somebody that you're hiring right now to then, okay, let's catch you up, we'll get you on the right page, and then we're gonna announce the game like in a month and a half, and then the game will come out like 4 months later. I think honestly we could be moving towards that point. Like I said, love-hate relationship with Friday the 13th. I think they can do it. I think they could make a really good Halloween game. I would support it no matter what. I mean, if it sucks, I'll call it out. I'll say it out loud, but I'm going to definitely support it. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. I thought this was once Benny sent this over to me on Twitter, I thought this is a good story. This is a really good story. This is very exciting because I think a lot of people would be pretty pumped by a Halloween game. Maybe they won't be pumped when they find out Friday the 13th's makers are making it, because Friday the 13th doesn't have like universal love, okay? But, I think we're very close to seeing them announce it, so we'll have to see how people respond. So let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think like Halloween is going to be announced relatively soon, released soon after? Do you think it's still a while away? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Again, bell icon turned on. Hit the like button if you guys did actually like this video. If you disliked it, that's totally cool as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.